Alright, so here's our third South Korean movie in a row. So this is Kongjui and Patchui. Am I pronouncing them right? I don't know. So yeah, this is obviously based on an old South Korean folk tale that is surely inspired by the same general tale as Cinderella, because there's a lot of parallels with that story. So it was animated by, let me see, Gang Tae-young. I don't know. But this animator previously did a movie called Hungbu and Nolbu, which was like a decade before this one. I think it was 67. And I really wanted to watch it because, I don't know, it had some interesting imagery in it. I did take peeks at, like, little clips. But yeah, there's some interestingly creepy imagery in that. And yeah, I really wanted to check it out. There's still no English translation I can find anywhere, so yeah. Until then, yeah, I did find a video of this movie with English subtitles, so yeah. And I guess the general idea of the story is pretty much the same as that one, in that we got because I've heard the general idea of Hungbu and Nolbu as well. Like, both of them are about two siblings, hence why the title's named after the both of them. One of them is good, the other's not, and the good one gets rewarded, and the bad one gets punished. In this story's case, along with wicked stepmother. So the story is Kong-wee, she's like this, she's the daughter of this rather high-ranking lord character, and then he's a widower, and he marries this he gets married to this other lady, and the lady has a daughter, the daughter becomes the daughter's Patchui, who becomes Kong Wee's stepsister. So yeah, and from there we pretty much have the same story as Cinderella, because when the father's away, the stepmother and stepsister abuse the main pretty girl. Of course, the stepsister is ugly, and the stepmother isn't all that attractive either. She looks like a toad. They abuse her. They make her do all the chores, and they try to work her to death. Like Cinderella, they deny her being able to go to this festival thing. Thanks to some intervention from some forest creatures, as well as Buddha himself, she gets her chores done, and she even gets some nice new clothes. So, then she goes over to the festival thingy. But then she loses one of her shoes. Yeah, sound familiar. And, the prince who did meet her early on in the movie, he happens across the shoe, and he's like, it's in a river, and he's amazed that the shoe didn't get wet, so he tries to find the owner of the shoe, you know the drill. Soon, as usual, the stepmother and stepsister try on the shoe, but it doesn't fit them, and then the good sister tries it on, and it's pretty much beat for beat Cinderella until they get married, because you think it would end there, because yeah, that looks like where the movie would end if it was, basic Cinderella. But yeah, then it takes a bit of an unexpected, rather dark turn. I feel I probably shouldn't give anything away, but yeah, it takes a pretty unexpected turn, and yeah, but it still ultimately amounts to the same thing anyway. Everything turns out okay in the end, and yeah, so it kind of renders that little twist pointless, and yeah, also the stepmother and stepsister get punished because, of course, I've watched several movies with evil stepmother, evil stepsister, and yeah, they're generally treated as two heads on one body, or at least in terms of like being the villain of the movie. So yeah, the animation was nice. I did like the stop motion. I like how ugly, yeah, how much they put into Patchoui's ugliness. I will admit the forest animals are kind of creepy at times, and they're also, yeah, they're also kind of jerks. Like, even though they're like, you know, pretty much punishing Patchui, yeah, they're kind of jerks about it, and it kind of leads to some hypocritical moments. Like, like all those other stories, the good girl who's being worked to death by wicked stepmom and wicked stepsister, she's pretty much good to a fault, where like she puts up with all the abuse, and she, yeah, doesn't even speak anything in opposition, and yeah, it can be kind of unpleasant to watch her get whipped by her mom and her stepmom, and still be as nice as possible to both of them. But yeah, it does ultimately end with a pretty hypocritical moment where, well, let's just say the prince she gets married to tries to send his guards out to hunt them down, the stepmother and stepsister, and yeah, then she begs him not to because, they're still her stepmother and stepsister. But then nature just intervenes and punishes them anyway, so yeah, it doesn't really make much of a difference. And then we see the animals celebrating their death, and it's, yeah, I mean, I know they were horrible, but still, that seemed very inappropriate. Yeah, the way the animals treat them, just, yeah, something about it just rubs me the wrong way. I know they deserve to be punished, but at the same time, I feel like the attitude of the animals is, yeah, the animals do talk, by the way, just to point that out. But yeah, also, I was kind of expecting more from Patchui than just being the stepsister, or I mean, since she shares the title with the main character, I was thinking she might have a slightly bigger role than just being the underling of the stepmother, because, I mean, if she was the villain of the movie, that would be one thing, if she went through, like, a redemption arc, but, yeah, after she does a certain thing that she does near the end of the movie, there's no redeeming her, but yeah, the whole time she's basically just an underling of the stepmother who constantly mocks her stupidity and stuff. So, and they both die at the same time, and yeah, I mean, even though Patchui kind of does, the dirtiest deed by the end, yeah, it still ultimately feels like including her name in the title is kind of pointless, considering she's, yeah, not much more important than the stepmother, who, yeah, together they're pretty much the same characters as you see in Cinderella and all of these other stories that have evil stepmom and either evil stepsister, you know? Um, so yeah, yeah, I was just expecting a little more from Patchui. Um, but yeah, I guess at the end of the day, this was a pretty good movie. So I would I would be willing to give it a 7 out of 10. Although I don't know, the moral implications by the end kind of make me consider knocking it down to a 6. So I don't know. It's kind of between those two, yeah, 6 and 7. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the same general idea as Cinderella and stuff. So I can't really knock it too much. It's obviously based on like an old South Korean folk tale that's surely inspired by like Cinderella or whatever story Cinderella is based on or whatever. But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, this was still a good movie. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll settle on 7, I suppose. Um, so yeah, I guess if you're willing to take into account what I've been talking about and want to see some South Korean stop motion, yeah, I'd say check this movie out. Um, so yeah, if there's anything else I feel I need to add, I'll put it in the comments, and I'll just leave it at that for now. Mash it and smash it. Signing off.